Hey everyone, it's the Nitty Professor. Today I'm going to introduce my top 3 heritage boots that I use for mowing the lawn. Now I use a self-propelled push mower. Our lawn is not quite an acre, and especially at this time of year, it really grows fast. I enjoy the exercise. My son sometimes will get after me a little. He's like, why don't you get in the Dixie Chopper? I'm like, well, I could, but I'm just sitting there. It's not the exercise that I want by walking along behind the mower. Now, it takes me about 3 hours to do the whole lawn. I usually break it up because I have other things to do besides mowing the lawn on any given day. So I do break it up, but probably, spend a good 5 hours a week mowing the lawn, maybe 8, especially in weather like this. We've had a lot of rain. In fact, yesterday some people got some flooding and hail. We lucked out. But in any case, back to the boots. So what boots do I enjoy using to mow my lawn? So I'm going to go from the bottom to the top, but these are all ones that I really enjoy. So starting with number 3, these are my Truman boots in the Evergreen Chiha. Now, one of the things I like about using these boots to mow the lawn, and something to keep in mind, is that I'm wearing my wool socks and sweating, definitely. I mean, today was in the 80s when we were out there mowing. Very humid because we had all that rain last night. So these boots, I wore them today mowing, and I could tell they're wet on the inside, so I'm definitely going to leave them out to dry for a good couple of days in the air conditioning. But they take the sweat fine. If I had a pair of shoes with glued parts to them, probably the innards, that foam stuff, that would just get eaten up within a couple of months. But with these leather insoles, that's zero problem. I mean, these can take wet and then they'll dry out and they'll just be fine. I mean, they're kind of like a second skin. This sole, so this is the Truman specific. You can see I've picked up a few rocks here. What do you call it? Yeah. Kind of like a vibrant sole. So, Commando, we have a ditch. There is quite the hill there, and I'm usually mowing across the slope, so I really need the grip, and these boots give me that in spades. Obviously, the downside of having the Commando sole is, yep, there you have it, picking up rocks, picking up mud, picking up dug dew, picking up mulch, a lot of mulch. We've been putting out a lot of mulch lately to control the mud because we have a gravel driveway. But a huge advantage of these boots is the sheer fact that they are green. And that's one of the reasons I pick on them to mow the lawn with. I actually kind of gave these a once over with just a damp cloth. You can still see there's a little bit of grass kind of stuck up in there along the edge where the toe meets the welt. But, from a distance, nobody looking at me walking around these boots would say, ooh, she mows the lawn in those. Look, there's, grass stains on the toe. Because really, I can make them out if I look really closely, but they just blend in with the color of the leather. So this is just a huge advantage. Now, another really big advantage of using these to mow the lawn and push the mower and do the ditch and mud, everything else, run into things, rocks, trees, what have you, is these boots I like to say that they're built like tanks. They have the cap toe, which is helpful. It gives me a little bit of extra protection. But the last is really fantastic for the kind of work that is involved in mowing the lawn, because I have a roomy toe box, but I have really good support in the heel cup area. You can tell, I've put a lot of miles on these babies. I'm even, shaping them, conforming them to the way that I walk, the shape of my foot, and all that kind of good stuff. But they take it on the chin, and this nice collar here with the double layer of leather is just perfect for really gripping me tight around the ankle and holding my foot in while I have all that room to kind of, relax and feel comfortable as my feet arguably probably, they may swell and then with the sweat and the heat and all that kind of stuff. It's just kind of natural. You're really working your feet pretty hard when you're doing all that mowing. So these are my third top choice. I love mowing the lawn in these. I did that today. You can even see how, there are grass stains on the edge dressing. And I don't mind that because that's my patina. And it tells me that I've done good work wearing these boots. So that makes me happy. So let's look at boot number 2 that I love to use for mowing the lawn. You'll never guess, they're also green. So these are, let me see if I can get my numbers right, the 8828 Alpine boots. These are the classic mocks from Red Wing, and again, similar to the Trumans, we've got a great fit, roomy toe box, great support in the ankle. These have the synthetic laces. I could put leather on there, but I'm happy with the synthetic ones. They are working really well. Another leather insole, so it handles the sweat great. I can sweat in these boots and they'll dry out just fine. Now, this does not have the commando sole, but this sole is really good for grass. I do have a slight issue with these on mowing the ditch with the slope, but it's not serious because, you know, there is just enough tread here to give me what I need in terms of traction. And of course, there's a huge advantage because we don't pick up rocks and we don't pick up nearly as much mud. In fact, the grass just kind of shakes off of these babies once I'm done. You can even see grass embedded in the sole. The moccasin, mock toe construction and the sole that the wedge sole is really superior in terms of comfort. I use these to mow in a lot. I took off the layer up here, but even so, without that strip going around the edge of the top of the shank, I don't have any problems with support because, you know, this is a 7-inch boot and, you know, I just tie it tight and it just works fantastic. So these boots, again, like the Trumans, they really take it on the chin. I bought these on kind of a lark when I was at the bargain basement in Red Wing at their flagship store. And I'm so glad I did because I've gotten probably the most use out of these boots of just about any boots that I have picked up there at the bargain basement. And I've used a lot of them a good deal. But these, I've only had them for, I don't know, maybe a year probably. I think I might have gotten them last April. Might have a chance to go to Red Wing again, which will be cool in June because I'm going to Minneapolis. But in any case, I'm just so thrilled that I bought these. And again, I just gave them a swipe with a wet rag. And you can see there are grass stains. There's grass embedded in there. But from a distance, I like that Nancy Griffith recording that song. Nobody knows, nobody cares. And arguably, I could probably get a lot of this grass stain out with saddle soap if I want. But it doesn't seem critical to me because it blends in with the color. So yeah, green boots, wedge sole construction, wonderful leather, very comfortable, very durable, great support, great comfort. So now let's look at my top boots for mowing the lawn. Those of you who know me aren't going to be shocked. And it'll be readily apparent that I do use these boots a ton for mowing the lawn. My Red Wing Iron Rangers in the Hawthorne Mule Skinner Leather 8113s. These boots have just been thrashed. And they're still kicking. And I expect them to continue to be kicking for many great years to come. So I feel like I need to, this leather is getting thirsty again. I condition my rough out leather the same I would if it was rough in leather, let's say, because it's still leather. And I'm not really wedded to the texture to the extent that I would let these babies suffer just to have a nubbly suede looking exterior. So as you can tell, these babies have really been through it and they are going to go through it some more. I did not wash these ones off because guess what? They're a rough out leather and they're not supposed to be shiny, but I do think they need a drink. But yeah, the evidence of how much work I have done mowing the lawn and doing a lot of other garden work in these boots is, as you can tell, significant. Even up here, they got a nice patina. And, you know, to be honest, when I'm working out in the lawn, most of the time I'm out there in shorts because guess what? It's hot. And I don't need to sweat any more than I absolutely have to. So it's not like that's from denim. That's just, you know, nature's way. I'm subjecting these boots to the gravel, to the earth, to the grass, to the whatever, the dandelions, etc., etc. And just, I don't know, these remind me of a Norman Rockwell painting. One time I did a video with the boots in Norman Rockwell's paintings and heritage boots in general, and it was just so much fun. I don't know, I just love the evidence that I have put the miles on these boots and really gotten what I need to out of them. Now, these are kind of a half-breed as far as the utility of the sole. So when I'm mowing the ditch with these boots, I kind of lean into this Commando mini lug on the front of the foot, because the heel, obviously, especially the way it's worn down now, doesn't offer a whole lot of traction. But, you know, these boots, they kind of harden over time, this particular sole. It's not my favorite material, but because it's not my favorite material, I have no problem thrashing it. It doesn't bother me in the least. And, you know, I can kick rocks with these babies. I can wipe my feet off on rocks. Nothing's going to go through these soles. That is for sure. They're actually pretty hard. It's kind of surprising, really. And yet, because of the last of this boot and the comfort factor of the bump toe, the wide toe box, my feet are really comfortable inside. So, I don't have to worry about that outer sole. And again, we have the leather on the inside. So when I'm sweating it up in these boots, they're going to take it on the chin just fine. They're going to dry out. And I have even, and if you have any advice on this, I've even seen to where you can sort of gently shampoo your boots from the inside and condition them. If you think that is necessary, I'd be interested in your take. Obviously, sweat isn't the best thing for leather, but these are my work heritage boots. So am I worried? Not really. Besides, I've been doing this to these boots for like 5 or 6 years, and they're not going anywhere. So yeah, so from 3 to 1, the top lawn mowing boots in the Nitty Professor's collection are my 8113s from Red Wing. Which boots do you use to mow your lawn? I'd be curious. Y'all take care. Ciao.